The pyramids of Giza were not built by slaves. Archaeological evidence shows they were constructed by a workforce of laborers who were paid and well-fed. Bananas do not grow on trees. They grow on plants that are giant herbs. The historical Buddha is not known to have been fat. Marie Curie did not die from radiation exposure during her research. She passed away from aplastic anemia, likely caused by prolonged exposure to radiation, but not immediately during her work. The Colosseum was not primarily a site for gladiator battles. It hosted a variety of events, including animal hunts, executions, and mock sea battles, alongside gladiator contests. Santa Claus was not created by Coca-Cola as an advertising gimmick. He had already formed in American popular culture. The Bible does not say that exactly 3 magi came to visit the baby Jesus, nor that they were kings or rode on camels. It only says that there was more than one magus. Neither the mafia nor other criminal organizations regularly use or have used cement shoes to drown their victims. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day. It commemorates the Mexican victory over the French at the Battle of Puebla in 1862, not their independence from Spain. Albert Einstein did not propose the theory of relativity out of nowhere. His work built upon and synthesized ideas from previous physicists, including Maxwell and Lorentz. The Wild West was not as lawless and violent as depicted in movies. Historical records suggest that most frontier towns had low homicide rates and communities that emphasized order. The RMS Titanic was not advertised as unsinkable. This myth emerged after the disaster. The ship was described as being practically unsinkable, highlighting its safety features. The signing of the Declaration of Independence didn't occur on July 4, 1776. Most delegates signed the document on August 2, 1776, with some signatures added even later. Bumblebee's ability to fly does not defy the laws of physics. Early misunderstandings led to the myth. Modern aerodynamics explain their flight based on wing motion and air vortices. The Salem witch trials were not focused on burning witches. Convicted individuals were hanged or pressed to death. Burning at the stake was more common in Europe. Vomitoriums were not places for Romans to vomit during feasts. They were actually the entrances and exits to stadiums, allowing crowds to vomit out rapidly. The Spanish flu did not originate in Spain. Spain was neutral during World War II and reported on the flu without wartime censorship, leading to the misnomer. Vincent van Gogh did not cut off his ear to give to a lover. He severed part of his ear in a fit of mental anguish and gave it to a woman in a brothel, not to a romantic partner. The idea of witches flying on brooms originated from folklore and was not a widespread belief among those accused of witchcraft. It's a symbolic image that has evolved over time, not a claim made by those accused during witch trials. Vikings wore simple, functional helmets without horns, contrary to popular depictions in media and art. They also weren't huge. The average height of a Viking man was around 5'7" inches or 170 centimeters, which was similar to the average height of men in other parts of Europe at the time. Napoleon was around 5'7" inches, and he was not as short as often believed. Considering the average height in the 1800s, which was 5'6" or 167 centimeters, he was actually taller than average. Thomas Edison improved the light bulb with a durable filament, building on previous Nikola Tesla's work. Humans actively use far more than 10% of their brains for various complex functions and processes. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space without aid, debunking a common myth. Einstein excelled in mathematics, disproving the myth he failed math in his school years. The Bible doesn't specify an apple as the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden story. Microwave cooking can preserve nutrients better than some conventional methods, not destroy them. Lemmings don't commit mass suicide. This myth was popularized by flawed nature documentaries. Humans and chimpanzees share a common ancestor. We did not evolve directly from them. The blood is thicker than water phrase originally emphasized bonds formed by shared experiences, and it's not true. Rosa Parks was not sitting in the front, white section of the bus during the event that made her famous and incited the Montgomery bus boycott. Rather, she was sitting in the front of the back, colored section of the bus, where African Americans were expected to sit and rejected an order from the driver to vacate her seat in favor of a white passenger when the white section of the bus had become full. The Great Chicago Fire's cause remains unknown. The cow story is a popular myth. Penguins don't mate for life. They are monogamous, but may change partners seasonally. Chameleons change color based on mood, temperature, and light, not just to blend with their surroundings. Ancient Greek and Roman sculptures were originally painted with colors. They appear white today only because the original pigments have deteriorated. Earth is not the only planet with water. Mars and Jupiter's moon, Europa, have water too. It does not take 7 years to digest chewing gum. It passes through your system without being digested. Goldfish have memories longer than 3 seconds, capable of distinguishing between different songs. Ostriches do not bury their heads in the sand when scared. They lie flat and blend in with the ground. Opossums cannot hang by their tails while sleeping. They use their tails for grasping, not for prolonged support. Sugar does not make children hyperactive. Studies have debunked the sugar high theory. Lightning can strike the same place twice, contrary to the saying. The Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, flattened at the poles. Genes do not determine race. Humans share 99.9% of their genes with each other, and genetic diversity is vast within groups. The Middle Ages did not universally believe the Earth was flat. Educated people knew it was round. Dogs do not sweat through their tongues. They pant to cool down, but sweat through paw pads. The 5-second rule for dropped food is not safe. Bacteria can transfer to food immediately upon contact with the floor. Not all deserts are hot. Polar deserts can be brutally cold. Fortune cookies did not originate in China. They are an American invention associated with Chinese restaurants. If you touch a baby bird, its mother will not reject it due to human scent. Most birds have a limited sense of smell. Alcohol lowers body temperature despite the warming sensation it can give. Swimming right after eating isn't dangerous. The biggest risk might be a minor cramp. You don't have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. There's no waiting period required to report a missing person to the police. Adding salt to water makes only a negligible difference in boiling time. Going out with wet hair in cold weather doesn't cause colds. Only viruses do. A coin dropped from a great height, like the Empire State Building, can't kill someone. It might sting, but isn't lethal. Cracking your knuckles doesn't cause arthritis, though it may weaken grip strength over time. Bats aren't blind. They can see 3 times better than humans. Humans have more than 5 senses, possibly up to 14 to 20, including balance and temperature. Shaving doesn't make hair grow back thicker. The new hair feels coarse because it has a blunt tip. Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain on Earth. Measured from base to summit, Hawaii's Mauna Kea is taller than Everest, with over half of it submerged underwater. Coffee doesn't actually dehydrate you. Moderate coffee consumption contributes to your daily fluid intake without significant dehydration. Sushi doesn't mean raw fish in Japanese. It actually refers to vinegared rice, often accompanied by various ingredients, including raw fish. The Sahara Desert isn't the world's largest desert. Antarctica is considered the largest desert, defined by low precipitation levels, not by temperature. The Canary Islands are not named after birds. Their name derives from the Latin Canariae insulae, referring to the island's large dogs. The term Third World doesn't imply poverty or underdevelopment. Originally, it categorized countries not aligned with NATO or the Communist bloc during the Cold War. The dark side of the moon is a misnomer. All sides of the moon receive sunlight. The far side is just never visible from Earth. The Library of Alexandria's destruction wasn't a single catastrophic event. Its decline was gradual, involving several incidents over centuries, not just one fire. The Spanish Inquisition was not as deadly as commonly believed. Historical records suggest far fewer executions than the tens of thousands often cited. Diamonds are not formed from coal. Most diamonds are formed in the Earth's mantle, well below the depths where coal is found. The term rule of thumb does not originate from a law about wife beating. It likely refers to using one's thumb as a rough measurement tool, not any legal statute. Gladiators didn't always fight to the death. Many matches were highly regulated, with the possibility of surrender and survival for the combatants. Walt Disney did not invent Mickey Mouse alone. Ubbi Iwerks, a Disney animator, played a significant role in the creation and design of Mickey Mouse.